good woman. Most of you are not a good woman. You might be deluded and think that it's the guy or it's modern dating. No. It's you, love. It's you. There's something wrong with you. And in fact, I would challenge that the way technology has impacted culture has made it even harder for men and women to form relationships, but particularly because of women and the failings in the family. So what we're going to talk about are essentially the things you should have learned as a girl when you were a daughter, and also the things you need to know as a woman if you actually want to have a man. In fact, this is an outline to a course that's going to get you on track as a woman. By the way, ladies, if you have any comments, questions, or thoughts, feel free to add on. You can join on screen, ask your question, give your objection. Happy to hear it. Here we go.
Now, welcome on into another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. In today's topic, we're going to do a reaction video to Marquettdavon. Give credit when credit's due. If you're looking for the original video, I will place it in the source. Go check his channel out. I look at him sometimes. He has great content. He speaks on the things that he has done. So he's highly relatable and, or let's just say credible, right? So go check it out. This title for today is Reasons Why You Shouldn't Marry Her. These are the signs, right? And a lot of people wouldn't know this, but you just we're forever learning. So continue to learn, right? Don't ever think that you know it all, but want to know more than you knew yesterday. So let's continue.
Number one,
But before we continue, let's state number one. Hit that link down below. This is how you support the channel, the AirTech EMF protectors, right? Protect your loved ones, protect your friends, protect your family, and gift them these things for Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, gift it to them just as far as love and some form of security as far as making sure that they're okay with this electromagnetic frequency wave. We all know that the computers that's in front of us, the phones that's in front of us, the Wi-Fi, all of these things may not be so good as far as radiation. So you need some form of blockage. So AirTech Technologies is one of the few companies that actually does these things. So make sure that you get them. Something Hanukkah is coming up as well. So protect your family, protect your loved ones. The link is pinned to the top of the chat, so you can check out the link.
I write lessons from parents. You might be thinking, well, Marquette, shouldn't it be lessons from father? We hear so much about she didn't have a dad. No, it's from parents. Both of them are involved in this process. Well, why is that? Well, the reason is that the father may tell you something, but it's not only about what he says, it's also about you observing him, but in particular, observing the father in relation to the mother. How do they interact together? A lot of you, especially Black women, you grow up not having had your father around, and you have fantasies of what a man is, imagination about what a provider is, and you're wrong. And a lot of you are broke. That's why you want a provider. You need somebody to get your lifestyle right because you're broke.
Put a one in the chat if you agree with them. I believe that that's true. A woman could say you don't have this, you don't have that, but you look at her, you're like, well, damn, what do you have, right? You're looking at me to have everything. The question would then be, what do you have? So don't let them trick you out your bag, trick you out your position, trick you out your purpose by even saying those things to you. It's just because they were misguided and they're looking for a way out, right? Aren't we all looking for a way out? But as a man, you build, create, and you conquer. So that is the way out. You look within. As far as us, that is the way out. Now we understand that a woman look towards us for that escape, right? But it's no such thing. It's like she's on your side to then break away and make even tomorrow a better place. So let's just continue.
Broke, but that's another topic. Anyways, so the first thing is lessons from parents. Firstly, we have to set appropriate expectations for a father. The sad thing is in the modern era, you've been watching TV and television is where you learn most of what you know. And you expect a man to be a woman, you expect a father to be a mother, which is to say that you're expecting the father to contribute to the family life at the same level that the mother does, which is not realistic. You expect Brody to be a provider, which is to say to work full time plus overtime if necessary, and then come home and be as involved in the wife and the children's life at the
Yeah, I agree with that too. It's no way that a man can go work full time, come home, do all the housework, do all this and all that. That's modern day slavery. That doesn't work unless especially if you have a wife. If you have a wife, then what's her role? What does she do? Together y'all supposed to go further than Wells Fargo, not apart. So to me, I agree with Marquette on this one. Absolutely. Put a one in the chat if you agree. Put a two in the chat if you do not agree. Let's continue.
same level you would expect your mother involved in the children's life? That's unrealistic and that's silly. So, number one, having appropriate expectations, which is critically important, especially for the folks who grew up without their father around. In the case of the blacks, that 70% of you grew up without the father there. Increasingly, the whites are falling off as well. We now have more white families with single parents. And the funny thing is now they create new terms for it. They call it a blended family. Some black chick yesterday, I was like, oh, you're a lonely mother. She's like, no, I'm co-parenting. I'm like, you have a broken home. Shut up and sit down, okay? Now, number one is time and attention invested. The expectation should not be that the father's investing as much time into the domestic life as the mother is, because after all, her job, her actual full-time job is domestic life. That's number one. Number two, attention. Oh, the father will give you attention, but not as much as your mother. So you shouldn't expect him to have his breast in your mouth. So you have to understand the different ways in which the mother and father will relate to you as a child, as a daughter. And that should be communicated by mom and dad. Mom should be reinforcing, hey, dad is going to spend time with you. No kidding. Okay. Are we on Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You see right there, that means somebody wanted to join on. Was that a dude? Okay, so we're letting late.
So he had a technical difficulty, but we keep the ball going. That doesn't matter. Did you guys get the message? Put a one in the chat if you understood the message. Put a two in the chat. I look at modern society as the roles are flipped. Men want, people expect men to be women and women to be men. I don't get it. I don't ever stand for it. I won't ever stand for it, right? And these are the reasons why. It just don't make sense to me. It's some things that's common ain't common to everyone, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Any sense at all, right? That's just like some guys chase women. I don't get the point of that. What's the point of chasing a woman? If you set your rules and requirements and she don't want to listen to that, toodaloo, I see you later. Bye. On to the next one. Or just become the best version of you and just watch what you attract. So you're going to attract the people that's for you, and you're going to resent and or push the people away that's not for you at all. Right? But it all starts with you, and it all starts with you becoming the best version of yourself. Have high expectations. Don't settle for less. Let's continue.
Ladies on, no dudes. No dudes, unless you think that we should let them on.
I'll get them on.
Okay, yeah, we can bring them on. And guys, I appreciate everyone who's a fan. Really am thankful, but probably not a good use of time to come on just to say, hey man, I love your stuff. I appreciate you. Shoot me a DM. And if you're a hater chasing clout, like please, another day, another person. We're actually trying to give some knowledge that will move mankind along. So if you do want to join on video, especially the ladies, if you have a question about this, and you should, because you're probably ratchet and you're on the road to be a single mom, feel free to hop on and we'll be respectful. We'll have a good conversation. So we all caught up there? Did you click the add him on or he dropped off? Okay, very good. Smart. Here's the second piece, emotionally intelligent disciplinarian. This is actually on the father side. You see, many of you have experienced discipline from your mother. You've experienced corporal punishment, and it's really quite a cruel thing. I've observed in real life, I've experienced it. I've seen it with relatives. I've seen it with friends. I've seen it on television. And in the Black American culture, somehow like you think it's a good thing that your mother was a psychopath. She was like, didn't I tell you, boy? Did I tell you? And you guys like, my mom used to whoop me.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. I think women who do that always yelling, always doing this, doing that. As far as in the head, they don't have it all, because especially when you're talking to a kid, they're not going to respond to you, and or they probably don't even understood what you just said. That's why you have to keep on reiterating your point, keep on repeating it, because you're not even communicating with them on the language that they know. You see, you're trying to be superior in a role that you're actually inferior, right? So I don't think like parents when they put their hands on their kids, that even makes sense. You can discipline people in so many different ways that actually work. But then I thought about it. I say, well, hmm, if slavery was slavery, and I know that they try to make us seem like that's where we started from, which history is actually before that, right? But your oppressors used to do the same thing to you. So you want to do the same thing to your offspring, not knowing that that doesn't really work. That's why if you look at the other side, right? Let's just say if you look at white family, right? They don't whip their kids. It's a reason why. Why you think that their kids end up making the technologies that govern the world and or do this and do that or be superior beings in some form, shape, or fashion. Not saying that they are the only race that's superior. We're just going by what's the realm that we're in now, right? Everyone and anyone can be superior. It's all in the mindset, right? So this is a shift that I think we all need because you know hurt people, and they may not even know better. Like I realize most of the people don't even know better. If you ask them, well, why do you do this? Why do you do that? What makes do you think that really makes sense? They're gonna say, well, this how I was raised, this how I grew up, this how my parents taught me, this how my mother's mother taught me, this how my father's father. Well, what if they was wrong? What if you're actually learning a wrong behavior that you really don't even know that's even wrong? Right? But as an adult, no one cares about your excuses. You have to make your wrongs right. That's your responsibility. That's what you should be accountable for, right? So let's continue.
That's why no, that's why you're psychotic, because your mother was using emotions when really uh, discipline should be emotionless. It should be by someone who's emotionally intelligent, and the only purpose of corporal punishment is to communicate to a child that is too young to reason that there is a consequence for wrongdoing. This probably might be better done by the father rather than the mother, because she may be emotional or she might not have it in her. Let me see which network it's on. Okay. Let me see. Let me just check
And I agree with that.
anything at all.
I agree with that totally.
So we have the finest in Wi-Fi. Who knows? We'll see what's happening. If so, then we can switch it over to the apartment one, or we can just use the internet and we should be good to go. So if that keeps going, we'll use the 5G internet. Great. Fantastic. And another thing that's important with the father being an emotionally intelligent disciplinarian, this is really important. I need to coin this term. Remember who said that? Emotionally intelligent disciplinarian. That's very important. That's smart. Marquette, you smart. Another thing that the man does, and both parents should do this, but it's critically important that the father do this with the daughter. And the reason is because in family life, the relationship between the father and the daughter is in many ways going to mirror what the daughter should expect in her husband. And so he should take her through that process of giving her feedback on a regular basis, giving her consequences, praise for good things and consequence for bad things, such that she has the ability to accept and, more importantly, comply with feedback. Listening is not good enough. Improving behavior is actually what's necessary. And for the fathers who are listening, you need to be able to utilize this phraseology. Feedback doesn't mean you're bad. It teaches you to be better. The challenge that you'll find if you've dated a woman or a young woman, if you're a teenager or an adolescent watching this, is that the moment you give them some critical feedback or you tell them something's not quite up to standards, oh, they fall apart.
Now that's true. If you tell a woman, hey, that wasn't right, I don't think that that was right, this is that the third, they view it as being insultful. You're not insultful at all. You just let them know. Maybe what you learned and how you grew up, or what you think, or your thinking process, or your thought process, maybe it's not right at all. And it's okay, fellas, for you to speak your mind. It's okay. Yeah, they might shut down. This is that the third. But one thing I realized, two things I know for certain. At the end of the day, they say, well, you know what? No one ever told me that. Maybe he's correct. It gives them a point to say, hey, well, maybe let me check myself and check and balance system. Now, you're not doing it to be rude or anything along that nature, but no one really likes to hear the truth. That's what I've realized. No one, even if you're dead on point, they would try to fight it so much. But that's not your problem. That's their battle, right? As long as they can say, well, it's not like no one ever told me this. So they begin to gain some form of respect because someone got to tell them. Think about it. If you've been doing the same thing for a long period of time and you're getting the same results, there may be something wrong with you. You may have to switch up how you think. you may need some constructive criticism. It's the reason why it's constructive, because it's for you to be a better person. Parents, friends, anything along that nature. Let them know, hey, that's not right. How you looked at it, that wasn't correct. You know, and you might get some rebuttal. You may get some, well, you think this, you think that. But then if it's the truth and if it's facts, they have no choice but to pay attention to it. Some people gonna still walk around being in denial, but that's their problem, right? That's not your problem. As long as you, hey, don't kill the messenger, right? Don't kill the messenger. As long as you're letting them know, hey, what's right and what's wrong, and then you can back it up with facts. It should be no problem with that, especially if it's the truth.
They're mad. They got a bad attitude. They want to count.
But I noticed this, right? Before I let him continue, right? Mostly, even our parents and everything else, some of them didn't grow up with a father. So how would you expect them to know how to treat a man? Some of them didn't grow up with their mother. So how do you expect them to have some form of emotional intelligence? That's why both parents in the household is so important. Not just man, but woman, male and female. It's very important because it off balance one another, and that's what true balance is. You use the left side of your brain and the right side of your brain for a reason. That's why you have two different hemispheres, right? You have to learn how to use both, not just one side. But let's continue.
Counterattack. They think you're attacking them, so now they want to insult you, when really they're taking what is feedback and they take that as an insult and as an attack. And as a result, you telling them that they did something wrong doesn't mean the behavior was wrong. It means that they as a person are less valuable, are not good enough, and they can't handle it. And that is why this conditioning and training has to be done, because inherent to the female is this idea of like, I want to be beautiful. I want to be, accepted by others. I want everyone to look well upon me. Women are agreeable, and they also want to be agreed with. So this has to be trained into the female.
That's why I believe that the sister code and everything else, even if they see their sister doing the wrong thing, right? They're gonna agree with them just to fit in. Just so the fact that they won't be the outcast to say, well, nah, she say this, she say that. So it starts with them as well. It all starts with accountability. So if they can be accountable for their actions and for what their friends and family members, cousins, sisters, brothers do, anything along that nature, as a conglomerate, as a whole, we will be in a better place. But if no one's holding anyone accountable, then it's no point. Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think. I think Marquette is doing a wonderful job on this one. Once again, this info comes from Marquette Davon, and he's part of the Saint and the Sinner. Go check him out. Let's get it.
At an early age. Then let's go on to communication. Hugely important. The science says women are better communicators than men. I think we kind of need to look into what we mean by better. They're more inclined to communicate. That's a fact. They use more words. They're more verbose. They're more inclined to have the conversation, as opposed to males. When they get angry, they will stonewall. But one thing females are not good at, brevity, meaning you talk too damn much. God damn it, make it short. Give me the short version. Give me the short version. Like, stop with all those words, especially if you are talking to a male. Females need to be taught on how to communicate with males. Secondly, conversations not to engage males with. There are certain things that I'm just thinking like, damn, shorty, like you couldn't tell that to your moms. You couldn't tell that long ass story that has no punchline, no arc, no nothing. You can tell that to your homegirl. Get some more friends. I don't want to hear this long ass shit. And if you are a good man, you'll try your best to hear her out. But secretly in your head, you're just thinking, damn, I wish the Lord would cause an earthquake, hurricane, anything to stop this BS story right here. God damn it. And the worst thing is, for masculine men, that's how we feel, because we're not the same as a woman.
Right.
The worst thing on earth is that we have these effeminate beta males that are low testosterone, and these little fruit cups, they actually listen to what the chick is saying and like, they're like, oh man.
And I agree with him too, right? If all the ladies are agreeing with you, it means that you it means that you're incorrect. Let me repeat. If they be like, yeah, that's how men should be and stuff like that, XYZ. No, 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 no. You're pandering. You're catering to a woman and what they think. Like this, like Yada, for example. I'm gonna do a reaction video on him later on. But like Yada, oh well, the woman this, the woman that. Man, please stop putting these women on the pedestal. It's no point. It's no point. I don't know what you thought and what you thought. But some people, that's how they get paid. That's how they get paid off YouTube. Most of the audience be females. Most of my audience on my channel, as far as analytics, are males. So I'm not pandering or catering to any woman last time I checked. There's no point, you know. Once you know who you are and what you stand for and where you want to go and all of those things, why would you do that? It's not in your best interest at all. Let's continue. So I totally agree with him on that one. Put a one in the chat if you agree. Put a two in the chat if you don't agree. But let me know why you don't agree. And let me know why you agree.
And that's the problem. That's how you women end up with a boyfriend or a husband who's actually a homosexual when they're like a little bit too close. When you're saying like, oh, I want a man who's my best friend. Like, nah, like that's not a good look. Like exactly. If he likes too much of what you like, that's a red flag. Anyways, carrying on. Here's another one. Information to always share. A lot of you chicks are liars. You're liars. And the sad part is that you think that just because you did not misinform, you're being honest. But what you did is you failed to inform. And there are certain pieces of information that you must share. If you were raised correctly, lessons from your parents, you would know that you need to report on your intentions and movements. Well, Marquette, what do you mean by intentions? For example, my intention with you is, well, cut that out. That is mighty curious. All right, fantastic. We've just solved the issue with the internet.
You must agree with him on that one, because I had a female once, and you know, I'm a masculine man, so I let her know what I stand for, what I don't stand for. If you out communicate, let me know your next move, XYZ, GPS location, everything, right? So one time she decided not to communicate, and I'm like, well, okay, don't you find that to be a problem? No, I don't. XYZ, woo woo. Let her go. Gotta go. Because why wouldn't you find that as being a problem, right? You communicate about everything else. So, like he said, about some people they would tell you half the truth, which is no such thing. The truth is the truth. It's either full truth or nothing at all, right? They would say, well, I don't have to let you know my location, but well, how you expect me to be some form of you to be secure? It's no way that's even possible, right? So if I can't do my job as a man and you hindering me for me doing my job as a man, then toodaloo. You gotta go, because you're not about to put me in harm's way. You're not listening to directions and or following directions, which means that you're incompetent. It's no way. Think about if you go to a job and your boss say, hey, I need you to do this, that, the third. What happens when you don't do it the way that you're supposed to? It's called you're fired. On to the next one. So treat your relationship the same way. If she can't listen and this, that, the third, or being competitive, and you saying this, you saying that, or you letting her know one thing and she's obviously not adhering to it, and you got to say the same thing more than once, she's incompetent. She's actually going to be a problem in the future and or in the moment. So as a man, you have to know that you're the prize and stand on your foot and say, you know, obviously it's not going to work out. But when you look at the background, if she didn't raise, well, she wasn't raised in a two family parents household, she won't even get it because she wasn't programmed to get it. I can't even say it's her fault. Some people just set up for failure, and failure to me, you know, you have to learn how to fail and get back up again. But some people are programmed to be this way, and they wondering why their life is their life. You can only get to a certain plateau in this world. Yeah, you want to be rich, you want to be a millionaire, a billionaire, XYZ. How? You don't even have the habits and or the characteristics in order to be. That's why you're not it. It's just that simple. That's why you can't be it. So if they have a problem with listening and following directions, they got to go. If they put you in harm's way by not following your directions, and they feel like, you know what, well, I don't need anyone to protect me and XYZ, but when it's time to do manly thing, they call upon you. What does that mean? So make it make sense, fellas. Y'all got to know what's going on, know your worth, and yeah.
I'm very handy. But a woman should report on her intentions and movements. So I have the intention to date for the purpose of marriage. Movements. Hey, I just want to let you know this Friday night, I'm going out with my girlfriends. We're going to this restaurant. I'm planning to just be there for dinner, and it'll probably be 3 hours of that, and I'll be home by 11 p.m. Boom, go do that. She gets home, or rather when she's leaving, hey, I just want to let you know I'm heading home. Boom, she gets home. I want to let you know I'm home safe. Yes, report on your movements. Well, Marquette, I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. Look at these big droopy double D's. I'm a grown woman and I'm a single mom. I got to report to nobody.
Okay.
Well, if you want a man who's going to be your protector, they need to know about your whereabouts to protect you. Okay. And also, if you're a sane person, you should want others to know, be apprised of your movements. So if you're trained on that as a child, as a girl, you're taught like, hey, keep us informed. That's what your parents teach you. It's not going to be a big difference when you come into married life. The problem is, and I hate to say it like this, but a lot of your parents, they ain't really care like that. They ain't really care like that. Your mom was working 3 jobs because she's a single mom. You got a deadbeat dad. He in jail. He ain't even involved. And you over here living like a full adult life. You's a real 304 and you only 15 years old. So you've been moving around in them streets with no oversight. Well, it's going to be problematic when you want a relationship with a real man. Most of you guys can't handle a real man. You've never seen one in your life. Expectations from husband. This should be communicated from your parents by you observing what your father's expectations are and observing your mother's compliance with said expectations, but they should also be overtly stated and reiterated on a regular basis. Understanding dating and the stages that graduate to marriage. This is really important because you'll find a lot of dumb dingbat broads, which are, it's an infinite number of them.
And the reason why I'm covering this and doing a reaction video to this, because I thought this was a brilliant piece of work, and more people need to do their research. And or if you know you don't come up or you wasn't raised like that, right? It's never too late to learn, right? I learn something new every other day or every day. So there's nothing wrong with not knowing and or wanting to know. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So go in the pursuit of, if you say, well, you know what, how my upbringing was, maybe I wasn't taught the best way, or maybe the way I was taught is outdated, or maybe it's some new nuances that I can use to make it better. It's good. And I think it all starts with a relationship, right? It all starts with how you relate to others. And if you can't relate to others in a positive way, then how can you expect to be a force and or how can you expect to be a solution in today's world? You're not. You're going to be very problematic, right? So that's why I decided to react to this video, because I thought it was a brilliant piece of work, and more people need to know, hey, maybe how I act and how I respond to things is actually pre-programmed from my childhood. Maybe it's trauma. Maybe it's the lack of parenting. Maybe I never seen a man in the household. Maybe I never, as far as guys, maybe I don't know how to use my emotional intelligence. So everyone has some form of problem, right? It's on you to fix it as an adult because no one else is going to fix it for you. So let's continue.
They'll say like, I ain't doing that. I ain't married. I ain't doing all of that. I'll submit when I'm married. Well, it turns out you'll never get married if you don't submit. So it's not like you show up to the job and say, give me the job. I got the skills. Trust me. Just give me the job. No. You guys probably have only worked at McDonald's. They're going to trust that you're going to figure out how to work the French fries. But when you do high-level jobs, when you're on the interview, they usually are going to ask for a demonstration of skill.
Right.
Especially if you're an engineer, they'll write, hey, what does this algorithm do? They're going to write up some code. Hey, what does this mean? Here's a Boolean expression. Explain it. So you need to demonstrate those skills so that you can show you're worthy of marriage before you get married, which is to say submission is not only for your husband. If you are trying to make a boyfriend into a husband, you must submit to him at a level. Part of your education is how to serve a boyfriend and display wifely qualities. That's really good. Wifely qualities. And you might say, I ain't going to serve every boy that I'm dating. Well, if you stop dating 90 niggas, it would be a lot easier. If you just date like one or two before you get a husband, or ideally none.
No, that's true. If you stop dating 90 people, then it may be easy, just a little easier, right? If you stop being like overtly promiscuous and you understand you have some form of discipline, then maybe you won't face all those traumas. Because when you bond with different people, right, you download their spirits. And this is a spiritual battle that we're going through. So you might be upset every other day because you're fighting spirits. You're fighting either your last boyfriend, your last mishap, your last girlfriend, your last whatever, right? You're fighting it. You don't understand why you're upset. So be very particular or be very cautious of who you allow to exchange energy with. And I look at today's culture as being overly promiscuous, overly sexual. This is why I say this, right? Every other song I hear is about doing this, that, the third, girls twerking, this, that, guys, guns, drugs. It's the same thing, right? That's a program. Music is a program. So mostly people, they're learning from these songs or they're learning from their phones and the internet, right? So they may feel out of place doing the right thing. They might feel celebrated doing the wrong thing. Everyone wants a form of attention, right? Right? Because the attention can be very powerful. So I look at it as this world is overly sexual. Think about it. From commercials to videos to everything that you see, it's overly sexual. It's like hypersexuality. That's why nowadays you got the LGBTQ elemental P. Why do you think that you have those? And why do you think most people are gravitating to that type of fellowship? It's because it's the only place that I know that don't have any requirements. You can come as you are, which means to me it's destined to fail because you need some form of concrete requirements in order to hold anything up. In order to build a house, you need some form of requirement. So that's like building a house on sand. How you ever think it's going to work, right? So that's why I say this world is overly sexual from everything. That's why mostly women are promiscuous. It's like they've been told to do these things, but as an adult, you can't have people tell you to do the wrong thing. It's on you to do the right thing, even if it's not celebrated. Right? Success is a lonely road. It ain't for everybody. It's only for a certain class of people that don't mind being alone. They don't mind standing on their principles and say, you know what? I don't stand for this. I don't stand for that. You don't respect this. You don't respect that. I'll see you later. You have to. Because that's how people gain respect for people. If she does something wrong and you don't say anything about it, what do you think is going to happen? She'll continue to do it or continue to overuse you. Like I look at it like this. It's called reciprocation, right? If you do something for somebody and they don't do nothing for you, they misusing you. It's called reciprocation. Look the word up. It's in the Webster Dictionary. You can Google the word. Reciprocate. If I do something for you and I notice that you're not going to do nothing for me, eventually I'm going to let you know about yourself. Eventually, we're not going to have a good relationship. Because I can't hide it. I know what I'm willing to do for people. Right? I don't know what you're willing to do for me. So it's like now you're taking things from me. I can put that energy into something else. I don't care who you is. Girlfriend, a wife, parent, it doesn't matter. It's called reciprocation for a reason. You treat people how you want to be treated. I'm very giftful, very this, very that. That's just how I see life. That's how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be in abundance. But if you notice that you're doing everything and you're not getting nothing in return, just hold on, wait a minute, or you're not going to like me at all. And I don't really care if you don't like me. I'm not into liking you either. Because I love me. I don't know about you. But let's continue.
Just the one that was your boyfriend turns into your husband, you'll be good to go. And you'll be helped along in that process if you have parents who vet the guys. Come on now, work with me. Here's the next one, competence. And this is what takes a lot of...
And now I see, a certain class of people always used to ask, well, why do the rich class or a certain class, even the Nigerian folks, right? They have to pre-approve your woman. And because you got to think about it, most people brain ain't developed till you X amount of years, right? And the earlier you get married is the better, statistic shows, right? So you should want some form of mature adult to say, you know what, she might not be the one for you. He might not be the one for you. Look at his characteristics. Look at that, right? But some people, especially the modern woman, they don't have that type of privilege. Why do you think that the rich people, the ultra rich, right? They don't just let you marry any and everybody. They might be coming in to mess up the whole family dynamics. I kind of see the importance of it. You got to jump outside yourself, jump outside your feelings, jump outside yourself, jump outside of everything that you was taught. Just jump out of it. Have an out of body experience. Leave everything that you know and just look at it like an observer. And I'm good at observing things. And then I move. I just watch and see, okay, okay, all right. So this is who you are. So all I'm saying is that to have that parental eyes is needed in the family structure, because you might be thinking, well, she make me feel good, she make me do this, she make me do that, but is she actually good for you? If you have loving parents, they will let you know. If you have a certain class of parents, they'll be like, okay, well, cool, she wants you for your money, or she wants you for this, she wants you for that. You may not see that. They might see the things that you don't see. So that's why the nuclear family to me is very important. A mother and a father in a household is extremely important. No other way. It can't just be the man raising the kids. It can't be just be a single woman raising the kids, which is never the best idea, because that's where criminals, crimes, all types of things. That's when it begins to happen. At a point, your mother can't tell you what to do. At a certain point, she know that. If you, it's no way she can raise a boy to be a boy. She can't never raise a boy to be a man. It's not within her. And the things that she would tell you to do, most likely average guys won't ever do that for her. So she's trying to create you into something that ain't even real. She's trying to create you into something that she don't even like eventually. But she don't know that she's doing it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say two parent households is so important. Let's continue. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about it.
Broads out of the game. The man, you would not believe how many chicks I kick to the curb because these hoes are incompetent, and I really do mean that.
Nah, I'm the same way too. I must agree with him. I done kicked so many women to the curb that it's crazy. I Because once you know yourself, you know yourself. There's nothing wrong with knowing yourself and you say, you know what, sweetheart, that's not going to work. We could be cordial. We could be cool. If I see you, hey, you know, I'm not going to be the type not going to say nothing to you and this, why, Z. I'm going to go ahead and have a good time as well. But just know that I know you're not it. You know, you got some learning to do. You got some things that you have to work on. And we all have things we have to work on, right? But make sure you work on it. In today's round, don't wait until you're on your deathbed to say, you know what, I should have done this a little better. I should have. When I die, I don't really want no regrets. I'm going to say I live this earth to the best of my ability. I help my people out. I help people out. Obviously, I'm going to leave something behind that's going to help the world out because that's my intentions, right? And that's that. You shouldn't live in regret, but you should always want to learn and you should always want to become the best version of yourself. That's why I don't drink and that's why I don't smoke, because my advice is no vice, right? My advice is no vices, because those are the things that's going to deteriorate you or make you keep on having going around in the same circle and you wonder why your life isn't advancing. I'm just saying. Okay, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. Sometimes I forget. I forget sometimes to plug my charger in, to plug the laptop charger in. I forget sometimes to plug the laptop charger in. So that's on me. That is totally on me. But let's continue the program. Let's get it.
You feel me? They don't know how to do nothing. You're like, hey, I got a stain here. What do you think I should put on that? They're like, blah, 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 blah. Let me Google that. I could Google that myself. I expect you to be an infinite well of knowledge on household related things. One of the things I love about my dearest mother is that you like, hey, what do I need to put on this? She's like, oh boy, you get you some vinegar and some baking soda, mix it up. Dad, you a little bit on there, take it right out. She knows all this stuff. It's an infinite well. You ask my grandma stuff like, I got a rash right here. What is that? She's like, boy, I saw that back in slavery. All you do, let me break off some aloe vera, rub it on there, then go ahead, sprinkle some cinnamon on there, and then you be right back at it. I remember Uncle Slave Joe was, anyways, the point is she should have some knowledge on these things. She shouldn't have to Google household related things. Part of that is how you're raised up. Competence is usually important. You can tell if a man is a real man based on his woman. If she's just fine as all get out, the dude's probably an idiot and a simp with low self-esteem, and he really ain't about nothing. If he's wifing up chicks that have been dumped by other dudes, bro's probably also a loser.
Facts. You gotta look at it like this, right? She could be pretty, she could be eye candy, all that. Most of these pretty women are pretty stupid to me. I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you agree, put a 2 in the chat if you don't agree, right? And let me know why. They just think beauty is everything, and I'm not saying that it can't be equally as important, but it is not everything because beauty don't last forever. Beauty do not withstand the hands of time. Let me repeat: beauty do not withstand the hand of time. You can look good today, you can look good tomorrow, you can look good for 10 years, but the 11th year you might start cracking. It's like, what is up here? What is in your cabeza? Can you listen? Can you learn? Can you follow direction? Can you add some form of value? You can't just be basic now. Can't just say, well, I can cook, I could clean. We living in a modern world. Madam, I don't really, the machine doing the washing, right? The cleaning, right? And the oven and the oven and the stove is really doing the cooking. So you gotta come a little bit more unique than that. Else you're gonna be so disposable to me. It's gonna be like a wash rag. I may end up finding another rash rag after I finish using you for a week or so. It's time to throw you in the recycling bin, the dirty clothes, wash you, and then go find another one. Because most people, I think most guys today, they just have basic requirements. You can't have no basic requirements. You're gonna get basic results. So basically, I'm saying it all to say, don't be basic. Basically, I'm saying all to say, don't be basic because you're going to have only basic results. Even you have to say, you know what, I ain't going to do this, I ain't going to do that until I get myself together and attract the person that I want and need and XYZ. And you may notice that you need more than one woman to get where you need to go. I came to a conclusion. In order for me to build a dynasty, I can't just have one woman. It's just not going to work with me. It's just not. In order to build the dynasty that I see, everybody's not like that. Go ahead, try it and test it. See how far you can get with one. See how far you can get with two. See how you got to have a secretary, that person, depending on your line of business. So you're going to have to intertwine with different women. Now, you may have a wife, but she has to add super value to you. If that's the life that you choose to have, you may say, hell, I'm Muslim, I can have more than one as long as she's adding value to me and y'all family dynamics is y'all on the same page, right? Then that makes sense. But whatever is best for you, I can't tell you how to live your life. I just see it how I see my life. But let's continue. I did it the other way. That other way don't work, right? You have to do it the way that actually works. And it may be uncomfortable for most, but you got to find the one. I remember OG told me this, right? He said either you can't teach a duck how to fly. And it kind of made sense. Meaning that a basic woman, you can't teach her how to soar high like an eagle. You can't. You can't teach her how to be something that she's not. You can't. So with that being said, right, it's best to have high standards. It's best to work on yourself to become the best version of you so you can attract that woman that's like an eagle, not that's like a duck. I'm just saying. So you can quack, 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 talk, talk, talk all day long, but what you doing? You just know how to use your mouth? Okay, after that, then what? We still on the ground level. We're trying to be at the very top, right? Skyline views only at the very top. It's not for everybody. That's why I tell people it ain't for everybody. It's only for a certain class of people.
As well. If he has a chick, she might not be the best looker, but she's a good. I don't want to say that, but the real ones know what I was about to say. But here's the point. If the woman is very competent, you know you're dealing with a real man because he has selected her based on her ability to be a mother and a wife, and that in turn is going to build your family strong and large. Competence is hugely important. The basis of competence for male and females, how to follow directions. Imagine how like incompetent a broad is if she can't follow simple directions. Do you know how often that happens? You tell a chick to do something so simple and she screws it up. And the just weird thing about modern chicks is not only will they screw up what you told them to do, they got the nerve to get mad at you like it's your fault. They messed it up. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary, man. I remember. And there's one story I wanted to tell, but I know Shorty.
And I can relate to that because some people they could do wrong and then they blame you. They blame you. You say, "Well, you the one that made me do it, man." What are you talking about? I can't make you do anything that you don't want to do. First of all, we're adults here. I can admit. So don't play the victim because a lot of people, once you know the truth and once you let them know the truth, they begin to play the victim. Well, he shouldn't have did this. He shouldn't have. No, you're an adult. You got to handle your own thing. But then I look at your upbringing and I say, look, you're going to forever play the victim, right? You're going to forever try to avoid people because you can't face the truth. The truth hurts. And this is touche. It goes both ways, female and male. Some males don't understand, don't want to hear the truth. So they lie to themselves every day. Well, she does this for me. Well, this, that, the third. It's like, hey, look, if that's the life that you desire on this realm, on this earth, then that's what's for you. What's for you is for you. If you allow it to be, then that's what it is. If you want more, you may have to do more. You may have to face all your fears to say, hey, look, I had to learn how to do this, learn how to do that, learn how not to depend, learn how to depend on the right people to build that network of high achievers. Like you have to have that type of lingo, that type of energy that you're giving off so it can reciprocate and it can come back to you, or else you're never going to get it. But let's continue.
You're probably watching right now. I ain't gonna put her out there. Like, I ain't gonna put her business out there, but y'all are incompetent and it's not acceptable. Okay. All right. And I just want to let you girls know, if you want a man who's high tier, like I'm loyal. I do everything you ask me to do. Like, I'm pretty. Like, that's not good enough though. Like those things you just named, that's not good enough. Okay. If you want a high tier man, like that's not good enough, in case you were wondering. All right. Introduce her to the Sasson contribution calculator. I got this right here. And remind me to post this on all the member sites so they can download this. This is your boy is a genius. So this is the contribution calculator. You take a blue marker and a red marker. You hear me? And you color in according to your percent of contribution. Now, maybe on the intercourse, it might be 50-50. It might be like that. You dig? So you color this part blue, color this part red. On dates, well, who's organizing? Who's selecting the date location? Who's paying? A lot of times with dudes, it's about this whole thing about to be colored red. Dude is making the full contribution. Baby girl just showed up. That was her contribution, which means nothing. Donuts. Food, meaning not home cooked food. Who's usually paying for the food? Well, a lot of times it's the dude. Boom, that's all the way red right there. Cooking. Well, if y'all don't live together and she ain't showing up like, oh, I just baked these goodies for us, or I made this home cooked food that we can take on a picnic. If she ain't doing that, 999 they ain't, because they dirtbags. Well, then this is also red. If you paying for all the Uber Eats and all the food, boom, that's all red. Okay. Now, the better quality the woman is, the more blue you're going to find on this chart. Most of you men at home is just sitting at home scratching your bald ass head like, damn, that nigga, that ball's right, man. Like, this hoe ain't doing nothing. Like, all she know how to do is lay on her back. She got some blue right here.
And I like this list right here, right? So okay, if the only thing she do is sex, man, get rid of her. Or just use her for that, right? If she can't pick date nights and surprise you with this, surprise you with that. If she don't do any good food selection and y'all eating horrible food, she not even reading the back of the ingredients, she a bird. If she don't cook, she's a bird. If she don't clean, she's a bird. If it's vacation, it's all on you, she's a bird. If it's the house ain't in order, she's a bird. All I'm saying is that men do most of these things regardless, right? So when a woman might ask you, they might be like, well, I tell them, look, I can cook, I can clean for myself, I could do all these things for myself, right? Anything you could do, you got to do it like to the best of your ability because you're gonna have a hard time with me. Like you got to be great because once you're in the pursuit of being great, it's like that's what you're gonna attract. You have to be great. If it's the only thing you can do is open your legs, sweetheart. Last time I checked, right? There's more females on earth than males. Most of these guys nowadays is transformers or you know they as sweet as it comes. So it's more females for me than ever before. What I'm saying is that I'm not shy in that department at all. It's an enormous and it's an egregious amount. I'm not missing that at all. Plus I have some form of discipline, so ask me, do I really care about that most of the time? Probably not. You know, so if you notice, I think this was a great list. Date nights, if she's not involved with that, something wrong. Food selection, if y'all just eating the same old high cholesterol, genetically modified, there's no thought in the kitchen. She's not superior. She's not a superior being. If she don't cook and you the one doing all the cooking and XYZ, she's not a superior being. If she don't clean, you got to do this and do that. Come in, clean XYZ, and she in the house most of the time. She's not a superior being. She's a bird. If she don't, and these are things you got to be mindful for: vacation time, housing's not in order, utilities, XYZ, right? And you checked in most of these things. I gotta agree with my kid on this. In fact, this is actually a great contribution calculator. This man is ingenious. You gotta give credit when credit's due, man. Go check the brother out, man. This is ingenious because these are the simple day-to-day things that you got to do as an adult regardless. And she said, well, I don't like cooking, I don't like this and I don't like that. Okay, cool. If you wasn't with me, right, and you was just by yourself, you know you got to do these things regardless, right? So it just goes to show how you plan on living. Dusty, dirty, everything is not neat, it's not organized. You know, you got things all over the place. And how she keep her place, that's how I look at it like this. You can judge a woman by how she keep her place too. If her place is all over the place, it means her thoughts is all over the place. How could you deal with that? If her house is cluttered, it means her brain is cluttered. I done seen the most beautiful women still. You go to their house or XYZ, you like, what? Huh? You too pretty to be living like this. But then I say, aha, you may not be. Pretty on the outside, but pretty ugly on the inside. I see. I see you for what you are. Just legs. Just a little booty call. That's it. After that's said and over with, then what? That's what I'll be trying to explain to women. After you get crushed, get smashed, then what? Like what's next? You're gonna get smashed again by somebody else, or this is that the person? Okay. After all that's said and done, you do your little run-throughs, or your walk-throughs, right? Or your drive-throughs, however you want to put it. Then what? Ask yourself that question. Then what? That's all I'm saying.
Shorty ain't did no cleaning for me. Transportation, I'm always driving.
That's
Vacation, I pay for that. The housing, she always up at my house. I'm paying for all of that. Utilities, we don't live together. I'm doing everything. All she do is lay on her back and bust it open. And here's the thing, my boy. Well, if on this whole chart, the only part that's blue is the intercourse, yeah, you could get you a prostitute to do that. Yeah, you could pay for that. Okay. Now, me personally, not my style. There's a couple YouTubers that used to love that. One of them's now deceased. Yeah, bro was all about buying them escorts. He's all about buying them. Me, I ain't signing off on it. I ain't signing off on it. That's not the pimp. And anyways, point is this. You raise your daughter on this, which is to say, hey, love, by the way,
and I tell guys that too. Yeah, you could pay for box and all of that, but what's the point of that? You're gonna come off as a trick. Who pay for box? I wish I would pay for box. It's free, girl. You better like me. You better love me. You better like me more than I like me, son. Well, you gotta go. You tripping? It's free. It's plentiful, girl. They throwing it at me. What's the what? So you gonna go out all your way. You gonna spend on that? She gonna trick you for the rest of your life. Fellas, stop tricking, right? Stop tricking. Learn some pimping or so. Stop tricking. I never met a woman that I can call today and be like, hey, look, let me get a couple thousands. I bet you they come up. I guarantee you they try to find a way to come up with it. I guarantee it. Y'all tripping. See, that's when if you got some form of respect. If they respect you, you stand your morals and principles, oh, they going to find a way. If they don't respect you, my God. But let's continue.
You might not want to talk about this one off rip. You might want to hold off on that with your daughter, but let her know, hey, there are stages to things, and the way that a woman contributes to a meaningful relationship where you're going to be retained because you're adding value is, you don't have to pay for the housing. You might not even have to pay for the utilities. But in terms of cleaning, you better come up real strong in this category. Well, why is that, Dad? Well, I'll tell you why. Because your man paid for that whole damn vacation. Your man paid for all of the roof over your head, all of the utilities. Your man is paying for every date he takes you on. So yeah, you might be 50-50 on this, or you might be 80-20. Yeah. You better be coming up hella strong in some of these cooking, cleaning, and intercourse categories. You better be coming up real strong. And when she's raised knowing that, look, when we go on a vacation, if he pays for the whole vacation, a woman needs to be thinking about that in terms of the following logic, which is, let's say you go on a vacation and it's $8,000. I don't know how much normal vacations are. How much is a normal vacation?
Yeah, about 8 to 10,000.
Okay, well, we'll say cheap vacation, $8,000 for the two.
I look at it, if you want like a okay vacation, you might spend like 8 to 10 bands on a vacation. If you want some upper echelon, and talking about the finest of the finest things, right? You're looking at a cool 20 piece. Hell, the flight alone, if you want first class flight alone, might be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, depending on where you're going. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you're in Dubai, that's a whole nother level. You might need a cool 40 piece. I'm just saying. It ain't for everybody. It's for what type of lifestyle you want to live and what you're trying to do, and how you're trying to do it, and how you're trying to look doing it, and how you're trying to feel. Do you want to have the best fruits, the best service, the most extravagant places? It all depends on what you actually want, right? So vacation varies. It varies all the way, So I'm in total agreement with that. Let's continue, Marquette.
$8,000, and let's say the guy makes $30 an hour. You need to be thinking about it in terms of, why would I not serve this man? He's serving me. He's giving me his labor. He worked and earned $30 per hour, and we went on an $8,000 vacation. $30 per hour. If he works 10 hours a day, which he probably doesn't, that'll be $300. Still not that much. You got to multiply a couple of days. We're talking about weeks of his labor to take you on a vacation. So you're telling me you can't give him your labor to cook and to clean? You guys can't exchange labor? You're always winning in the situation. His labor is always exceeding yours. You're winning. You're favored in the situation. Don't ask for a provider if you won't provide your side of the equation. So when you raise your daughter on this,
that was well said. Don't ask for a provider if you ladies cannot provide in your own situation. If he's doing this, please pick up where he's not doing. That's called teamwork. If it's just on him, he should be able to do whatever he want to do, whenever he want to do it, however he want to do it, with or without your permission. It's not like your permission is actually needed or granted.
She understands where her contribution is going to be and why it has to be there. Because the moment as a woman you get reduced to just being on this side, you about to get cheated on, you about to get replaced, you're gonna get disrespected, you're gonna get you're not gonna be retained. You're a side girl. That's all you are.
Side piece.
Yeah. And you should want to be under a man's roof so that you can contribute the cleaning and the home cooked food. You should want to. Come on now. Now let's get back to where we were. Let the church say amen. Hallelujah. Where were we? Here we are. Choosing friends. This is a big one. And this is how you can tell some of you broads are raised by dirt bags. And you know, it saddens me. Just imagine being raised by a hoe. Like, do you know how sad that is to be raised by an actual hoe? That your mama was an unrepentant hoe. I'm thankful that my mom was not. Grandma, on the other hand, no comment. But mom was civil. What your parents need to teach you is about choosing friends. Important thing for your girls, no male friends. Yeah, especially post-puberty, which is to say when them things start popping out, when that thing start, sitting down, no male friends. We're all done with that. Mm-hmm. You and little Billy grew up on the same block. Well, if Billy ain't really trying to holler, get him out the way. Get him out the way, and never alone with a male of age 12 plus unless you're consenting to intercourse. You're like, what? Like, Marquette, what are you talking about?
That makes sense.
I can't be around people unless I'm consenting to intercourse. Yeah, that's right. Because, if things go left, you're not going to win the fight. Unless you're Clarissa Shields or you like Serena Williams and Venus Williams, which means you look like a nigga, you ain't going to win that fight, okay? So don't find yourself alone with a male unless you consent. Because you might say, well, I have to say yes. Yeah, that's cute. But in my book, you don't even want to be in that situation because if you don't say yes and he's like, well, I think I want it anyways, you ain't gonna win the situation. So you train your daughters to be responsible and have accurate perceptions of what men are capable of, what males are capable of. And this is gonna protect her over the long term because truth be told, I'm not marrying a hoe that got male friends. I'm like, bro, that's too much. It's too much opportunity. Like, we're human beings. We're not perfect. I don't want no chick that's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go hang out with my partner, Bob and Rob. Like, nah, bro, that's out. Here's another thing to remember. Good daughters become good wives. And shout out to the young lady who provided this kind of thinking. Good daughters are good wives. A lot of you chicks, I don't really blame you. I blame you old heads, you dig? And I'm not surprised. One chick was on the dating show. She said she smoked weed with her grandma. To me, now my grandma was a hoe, but my grandma was not a drug addict. And my grandma wasn't a hoe in old age. You see, my grandma stopped being a hoe around age 40. Then she got into the good book. So the time I knew her when she was like 60, she was deep into that word, the word of God. Your grandmother apparently was into the word of the devil. If your grandma's smoking the devil's lettuce, that's a goddamn shame. And I feel sorry for you. My heart goes out to you. So for those of you who are raised by thoughts,
and I look at it like this too. It's like at a certain point, right? Like, why would you want a female that even smoke? I think that's just a manly trait. I don't like women that smoke. Like, I just don't. It's just no. Can't do it. Won't ever do it. Just can't do it. She got to be the total opposite. I used to be that way. I stopped smoking a while ago, a long time ago. Stopped drinking over a year and a half ago. So, you notice that if you don't do these activities, right, you have less and less people that actually does that. You have more and more people now attract more people that don't ever do none of those things. And these people are high class individuals. It's a reason why they're high class. It's because they left what's considered old habits in the past, and or they just don't do that anymore. So I was like, oh, aha, I see. You are what you do. You are who you hang around. You are. So it's like, I just find that to be a masculine thing. That's a masculine trait. But let's continue.
You were raised by deadbeat dads and you were raised by grandmothers who were drug addicts. I feel bad for you. But the point is, a good daughter turns into a good wife. A lot of this is parenting, and you can't re-raise these thoughts. They are who they are when you meet them. You did. Serving your father and family. The girl learns to serve her father, and that is a representation of how she will serve her husband. She is always serving a man her entire time. in life, on earth, under her father's roof, serves her father. When she graduates to having a husband, serves her husband. It changes her identity and her priorities. Cooking with mom, which is to say, you're an 8-year-old girl. I'm not going to have your ass cook a jambalaya independently, but you damn sure about to be in this kitchen while I'm doing it. You're 9 years old. I'm not going to have you cook this jambalaya by yourself, but matter of fact, go grab these spices, get these spices. Hey, put a pinch of that in there. Fantastic. Here's how you get a measured teaspoon. Here's how you measure a cup. Put a cup of flour in there. Boom. Now you're 10 years old. I ain't going to have you cook this whole jambalaya, but go ahead, get it started. Put the oven on 400. Yeah, we getting this going. You're 12 years old. You can almost do this by yourself. You're 13 years old. Well, baby, Thanksgiving depends on you, young buck. You're going to have to get this going. You're training and passing off responsibility to the girl, and especially letting her know, like, this is normal life, so that it's not a burden when she grows up. It's a duty that she's competent at. It's nothing new to her. A lot of you hoes right now watching me are eating Captain Crunch. You slores woke up and had a chicken pot pie and a Pop-Tart for breakfast. It's disgusting. Y'all had 3-day-old pizza. Y'all about to go to Popeyes for dinner. Y'all feeding your kids Gushers and fruit snacks, okay? It's a terrible thing. You got to get your life together. It's vile. And no. I don't want to. I heard one of you broads right now was like, it's just me by myself. I ain't going to just cook if I'm the only one eating. That was dumb. You thought that was smart. No, that was dumb, okay? It's like saying, because I value myself so little, I'm not going to go to the grocery store, get nutritious food and cook it and provide myself both practice and a quality cuisine to nourish the self. That's what you're saying. Okay, that's dumb. Thank you. Carrying on. Anyways, purpose of a female life. This is hugely important because a lot of these slores are completely brainless. They think like, I want to be an actress. I want to be a model. I want to be a singer. No, you, my friend, didn't have a father, and now you're seeking attention from the general society. That's what that is. Actor, singer, model, all of that together, it just adds up to like, I need attention, and I want people to pay attention to me. That's what that adds up to, okay? A real woman finds her happiness and satisfaction through family life, through the experience she gets with her husband, her man, and her children, and making sure that her children are happy, healthy, and successful. That is what life is about for a woman. We break this into stages, and for the ladies watching, let me know. I am curious as to if we need to celebrate any of these stages, like namely menstruation. Like with our boys, we're definitely going to have clear demarcations, like now you're a man. You know, now you need to be earning money. Now you need to be able to protect yourself and others. There are clear demarcations. Let us know if you think we should add something in. But there's a couple critical stages in female maturation. Obviously, when menstruation starts, her body has changed and she's been moved into the ability to produce children. She needs to understand that biologically. She also needs to understand how the outside world might see her now being more sexualized as a being. Meaning she needs to be able to protect and be cautious about who she's around and how she's representing herself, how she dresses. At age 18, you're now a legal adult as recognized by the government. You have different rights and responsibilities. And by age 25, you need to already be married, probably gearing up for that first kid. Yes, indeed. And we also probably need to add on here that you should probably start getting ready to stop having kids in your early 30s. You should start at 25. You should be winding down by your early 30s. Understanding, or this is yielding and submission. Yielding and submission. Some of you women at home, as soon as we use the word submission, you got all like, submission, I ain't submitting to nobody. Well, you sure do know how to.
Yeah, I think most women are afraid of that word submission. I think they believe that they give all their rights up and guys can do whatever and stuff like that. It's like, no, you was misinformed. Someone told you that. You actually get more when you're submissive than ever before than the ones that don't. Let me repeat. You get more being submissive than you do not being submissive at all. I'm just saying. So do you want more or do you want less? Most of you women obviously want less. So that's why y'all don't want to be submissive, because y'all trying to be equal to a man instead of, how could you be equal to something that you're not? Okay, if you were so equal, go to the gym and go lift over 150 pounds. If you were so equal, When it's time to go fight and go shoot and protect your family, go on the front line. Go grab your pistol. Go grab your line of defense and go on the front line, and you let me know how it is. And I guess the guy gonna stay in the house and wait on you to come back. Does that even make sense? So I've noticed that in the modern world, especially America, right? Most of the people have been programmed and trained to think a certain way. Ma'am, y'all been lied to. It's called the feminist movement for a reason. They incentivize you to break up the family so y'all could be alone, so they can come and take everything from you. It's that simple. Y'all been fooled and bamboozled. It's actually mind-boggling to me. I just look at it and it's like most of y'all fall for the okie doke. That's probably why you need a man around. So you won't fall for the okie doke. You won't fall for, well, I feel like that's right. No. What's right don't really even have a feeling. It can have no feelings at all. It could be logically, you'd be like, nah, that ain't right, because now you leaving the woman vulnerable. Who's going to protect her? Nobody? Oh, nah, she's sweet. That's basically saying every day, the woman in the house, oh, you know what? Let's just leave the doors wide open. No locks, no nothing. The world is so perfect. It's okay. Okay. I would like, you watch too many movies. You know, life is a little bit different. Okay? You got praise, you got predators out there. You got God, you got evil. You got yin, you got yang. How you want to do it? You got positive, you got negative. How you want to do it? This is what the world is consist of, both deities. So, oh, you think it's just going to be good all the time, huh? Okay. Well, don't call a brother when it's bad. Don't call a ninja when it's so bad. Go ahead, protect yourself. Go ahead. Don't call me. It's all good. Don't call me to stand on the front line and put my life on the line to make sure everything's straight. Don't call me. Call upon yourself. Hell, call y'all aunt, call y'all strong alpha sisters to come. I want to see what damage they're going to do. Call them. Let me see what they're going to do for you. I'll grab the popcorn and sit back and watch y'all movie. I know what's going to happen in the end. If you watch the same movie twice, don't you know what's going to happen in the end? I'm saying it all to say it ain't going to work. I was being a little bit sarcastic. It's not going to work. It's a giggle. Y'all so strong. Y'all so smart, ain't y'all? But anyway, let's continue.
Submit an application to the government to get welfare and food stamps, don't you? Not submit that. Well, I'll tell you what, submit to your man. And you should realize you're the weaker of the sex.
That's a good one. Yeah, I know how to submit it. Submit an application to get government food stamps and this, that, the third, and XYZ, but you can't submit to the man. See, what women don't understand too is that y'all know the government is ran by a man or men, right? Y'all just submitting to the wrong men and wondering why y'all life the way y'all life is. I hate to submit to a black man, not knowing that you just submitted to the government, which is ran by the opposition or the other man. So regardless, you submitting to something. One is directly, one is indirect. It's time for y'all to wake up and smell the coffee. The grass is not greener on the other side. Grass is grass, last time I checked. But let's continue.
You're meant to be dominated. You were made small. You're meant to be dominated. You have an illusory sense of power. It's fake power. You're not actually strong. You're actually weak, and you're meant to submit. And you got a government and laws that make you think you're equal when you're of equal value, but we're not the same. To a male, you submit. You also yield. This is something that you learn in family life as you observe your mother yield to your father, meaning step back, let him lead. Life is going to move more smoothly when we all have roles. Right. Even Confucius defined basic relationships which involve hierarchy. You have king, subject, older sibling, younger sibling, parent, child. Abide by these. Things are peaceful. When you interrupt the natural order of things, you upset that, then things are troubled. And that is what you guys are experiencing now, is troubled relations among male and female, because the government has upset some of this, and we've lied. We've lied and said that men and women are the same. They have the same privileges, the same thinking and capabilities. And frankly, it's not true. Those are lies. Mate selection. This is really important. This should involve your father or a mature man's input. Meaning, if you don't have a daddy and you're within the SAS and you're one of the lady saints, come to us and we will look over this guy's resume and we will vet him and say, you know what, this guy's a win. Or nope, this guy's an L, stay away, it's all bad. Women are dumb. They'll say things like, oh, I didn't mean to say that's not quite right. Some women are foolish. And they'll say things like, you know, he's toxic. Oh, he's toxic now after you've been dating him for 3 years and y'all have kids together. Now he's toxic. Okay, love. So what you really mean is he's incompetent, he's immature, and he's lazy. But you are also, you're the same thing. So birds of a feather flock together. So in as much as you can call him toxic, you are too. What we really need is high quality women, and we still need mate selection largely finalized by the father or a mature man, because women are terrible at mate selection. Here's a funny thing, funny fact. Women are inclined to choose the guy who's selling them dreams or even selling them nightmares. Well, what's a dream? I love you. That's a lie. I want to be with you. That's another lie. Oh, yeah, you should have it. Like, we're going to make a family. That was another lie. Or selling them nightmares. You'll never find a guy better than me. I'm the best guy you could ever be with. Like, this is a cold world out there. You're going to find somebody better than me? Go try it. Nobody wants you. Those are nightmares. Guys sell dreams and guys sell nightmares. You never heard it put like that. We might have to clip that one because people don't know nothing about that right there. So mate selection is a weakness of the female because they actually prefer liars. They observe our nature and remain in denial and delusion. Every chick you talk to, they've been cheated on. So the guy who's a liar who also desires more women, he's going to tell her, I'm only with you. We're monogamous. Then you have the honest man who says, you know what? I would like to have you and another wife. I want 2 wives. I will be faithful to both of you and I'll take care of you for all time. They're like, what? I can't be with you. You want other women. Well, he's honest. That's the guy you actually need, the honest one.
Right.
He's responsible. But no, you rather go with the guy who's lying and he still has another woman, is just behind your back. And in addition, he even has a whole nother family. But you rather live in denial and choose the weaker male who is the liar and the deceiver. That's what women do. It's extraordinary. Traits of a woman. Open to feedback. I'm just going to go through this.
Fellas, it pays to be honest. If you know that, look, you're going to need more than one woman in order to build your dynasty, let her know that. Because this woman that I let know that, and they still love me even more. They like me even more. Let's just not put love in it. Like, right? They like you even more because now it's like, well, the thing that I feared, I no longer fear because he let me know what it is. I can't deal with one. I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that? Do we in agreement to that? Do you agree with that? If you don't agree with that, no problem. No biggie. You're just not for me. That simple. Now shoo, and go find someone that tells you that it's just you. Shoo, fly, shoo. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you're going to have some woman that's like, you know what? I respect the man. He told me what it is. It's really on me to actually. Hey, hell, you know what? I still like the guy. There you go. You know, most women are going to say, hey, you know, I just want you to myself and X, Y, Z. No, sweetheart, it's not ever going to happen like that. All right? That's a fantasy. That's not going to work. That's a cold-hearted lie. I can't just lie to you. I'm too honest to you. I'm going to let you know. No, that don't make sense to me. Don't work with me. I look and I observe the people around me and I say, oh, hell no. That shit don't work. We got to be a wise man. Just look at different people example or reality and you say, this is what they did. Because you're supposed to learn from others, aren't you? This is what they did. This is what they stood for. Maybe they could have tweaked it a little bit. Maybe they could have been a little bit more honest with themselves. So you can be honest. The only way for you to be honest to somebody else is if you're truly honest to yourself. Totally. Honesty should be respected. But let's continue. So I'm in all agreement with that. Don't be the type of guy, fellas, this for y'all. Don't be the type of guy you got to lie to kick it. You don't. Don't sell her dreams. You don't need to. Sell her the actual facts. If she decide to stay around, cool. If she decide to leave and find the other guy, cool with that too. You know?
This real quick. And this is what is included in this course. If you think there's anything that needs to be added, please do let me know. If you're a woman and you want to question any of this, you can pop on stream. Or if you say, hey, we need to add something, we need to take something away, something doesn't make sense, feel free to hop on. But let me just take you through the rest of what's going on in this training of women. Teaching them to be open to feedback, teaching them how to be open and honest, and not honest to everyone. You have to put your business out there, but be honest to the man whose roof you're under or whose roof you're trying to get under. And if you're a slower, you're probably asking myself, well, what if I'm just not trying to be with him like that? You're a slower, and this doesn't apply to you. You're an animal. You're probably going to get that that Magic Johnson eventually. Also, be pleasant. Traits of a woman is to be pleasant, meaning do not complain. And if you must, complain to your mom, complain to somebody, as long as it's not about your husband or your man. That's inappropriate. Certain conversations are better for a female. Guys don't want to hear all your BS. I don't want to hear what happened at you was getting your nails done and the Vietnamese lady did this or something. I don't care about all that. Duty and service. A woman needs to be able to know that things are her responsibility. She has to anticipate need and be able to prioritize people effectively. Not everyone is of equal importance in your life. Your father comes number one when you're in his house. Then your husband, when you're in his house, he comes number one above everything, above yourself and above your kids. But here's the thing. If you take care of them, they'll take care of you. You take care of your father, he will take care of you as his daughter. You take care of your husband, he will take care of you as his wife. Okay? So, oh yeah, and that includes the government. Yeah, your husband is above the government. He is your law. Know your limitations, which is to say it's important to understand yourself as a female, which means that you can be emotional, and that hinders your ability to think clearly in some cases. Understand the self. Support your man's financial success in business. You are his free employee. Also, skills of woman. You must be able to cook at a minimum, and you don't have to be a great cook, but it should be edible at the least. You have to be able to clean and maintain a household. And you always have to clean after yourself. One thing that got this broad fired, I kid you not, chick got in my tub. And then I was looking, I was like, that's crazy. Like, shorty didn't even wash the tub after she got out. Like, as though I'm gonna wash the tub after she got out. That was insane. I expect her to wash it after I get out. So surely I expect her to wash it after she gets out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is one lazy broad. Like, man, didn't want to take off my belt. Like, if you ever get your out of my tub and it was crazy. Now, I don't know how it is whooping white kids because I'm black, but I can only imagine you take a belt to white kids. It looked like you done really done some abusing. You feel me? Man, it looked like you done really done some abusing. And she needed it in her life, and she deserved it. Anyways, clean up after yourself and your husband. You might be saying, well, what if my man's filthy? Well, you should pick better. Pick a guy that's reasonably clean. There'll be less to clean. Food, you prepare it. You set out the food and the flatware and the napkins and the drinks. For me, and I want to remind you ladies, I don't like spoons. So like if any of you women are watching, like Marquette, I want to join your family. I want to mess with bosses. I'm tired of dealing with peons who are users and dishonest and sell me nightmares. I'm tired of dealing with guys that got me in the same place with like no improvement in life. If you're tired of that, just remember the big homie. I don't use spoons like I don't ever really use spoons, but always have me a butter knife set out and a fork set out. You dig? Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for now.
To me, that was a good take. Like I say, this was an educational video on relationships and XYZ, right? I think most people, they don't know the proper way. So, hey, go check Marquette out. I left the link right in the description. Go check him out. Also, don't forget to hit the links in my description as well for the AirTech EMF protectors. have some business funding as well. And also I have some credit monitoring service that can be very helpful to you. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. Remember, positivity over negativity always.